New face for the Express. Gordon has pulled the Express for many years. But now he's gotten much older and tires more easily. He thought he had it under control. But one day when he pulled into the workstation, it happened.
"What's wrong with you?" said Skarloey. "You look so pale."
Never been better.
Gordon wheezed.
Perfect health as usual.
Moments later, the guard's whistle blew. Gordon began to puff away, but then it really happened. There was a loud pop. Whee! And Gordon was enveloped in a large cloud of steam. His driver quickly stopped the train.
Oh.
Gordon groaned as everyone looked on in shock. After that, Gordon was taken to the works, and later that day, Sir Topham Hatt arrived on board James to see him. He wasn't pleased.
These repairs are gonna take a few days, said Sir Topham Hatt. Now James will have to pull the Express until my new engine arrives.
James?
New engine? Spluttered Gordon. I won't stand for this. It's not what you think, Gordon, continued Sir Topham Hatt. You are still an express engine on my railway and always will be. But so is the new engine. This incident has shown me you're growing old, and you can't make the 4 daily runs like you used to. You and the new engine will be splitting the Express. I have the utmost confidence that you will work well together.
We most certainly will not, sir, Gordon pouted. He continued to complain, but Sir Topham Hatt drowned him out.
Now, James, said Sir Topham Hatt, since the new engine won't be here for a few days, I need you to take the Express until it arrives.
Oh, gladly, sir, replied James. As soon as I get repainted, of course.
James?
Yes, sir. And with that, James left to collect the Express, while Gordon felt miserable. The next day, Thomas shunted James's coaches and brought them to the platform. Soon the guard blew the whistle and James was off. Soon, James reached the end of the line. He left the coaches at the platform and went to the yard for a rest. When he had just settled in, he saw Rosie shunting a diesel into the sidings. "What's this tin can doing here?" sniffed James. "He's broken down," replied Rosie. "The station master wants you to take his goods train to Barra before you get back with the Express." "Bother," said James. "Gordon nearly blows himself to bits, and now I'll be worked to pieces too. Stupid diesel!"
I'm sitting right here, you useless kettle.
But James paid no notice. He collected the train from the sidings and headed across the bridge to the mainland. As James neared the station, he found he couldn't stop. There had just been a storm, the rails were wet, and the diesel's goods train was too heavy. James whistled frantically as he passed the signal box, and the signalman diverted him into the sidings. "Bah!" said James. "Stupid diesel and his overloaded train!" "Oh, stop complaining," groaned the fireman. "It won't help us now." "Well, who will?" James's driver walked to the station platform and spoke to the station master. He pondered. "We don't have any engines we can spare." "Wait, there's an engine here meant for your railway in a few days." "Yes, of course," replied the driver. "But if she's here already, what's with the wait?" "Her steam pipes are being repaired," said the station master. "Before she was purchased by your railway, she sat in an old shack in a goods yard for years with no maintenance." "Well, can we at least see how she's coming along?" asked the driver. "Well, I guess there's no harm in checking," replied the station master. And he took James's driver to see the engine. As the shed doors opened, a bright yellow engine slowly rolled out. "Well, meet Rebecca," said the station master. Rebecca was excited. "So that's what sunlight looks like," she chuckled. "Rebecca," said the station master, "how would you like to go to the Northwestern Railway a few days early? One of their engines has just had an accident there, and we need you to pull him home and take the express run." "Oh, I'd love to," smiled Rebecca. "But am I ready?" There's a few minor touch-ups you need, said a workman, but those can be taken care of on Sodor. You should be able to manage this one. Splendid, said James's driver. It took some time, but finally, Rebecca's fire was lit and she made her way round to the station. Meanwhile, one diesel had come with a breakdown crane and put James back on the rails, while another diesel had taken the goods train away. James was already cross, but then he saw a yellow tender coming right at him. "Who are you?" asked James. "The name's Rebecca," said the new engine, "and I'm going to take you home and take your express." "What?" exclaimed James. "First, I have to pull a rotten diesel's goods train, then some barmy signalman directs me into a siding to crash. Now, I have to be hauled back to Sodor by some oversized banana on wheels? Puh! Forget that!" James grumbled all the way back to Sodor. Soon Rebecca was ready to go. Once her driver had been informed of the stops, Rebecca blew her whistle and slowly but confidently set off down the line. Out on the main line, Rebecca was enjoying herself immensely. It was her first long run in years. "This new railway is so beautiful," she said in awe. "I do hope I'll be able to keep up with the others." Meanwhile, Gordon was sulking at the works when...
Strange, he thought. That isn't James. Victor, who is that out there?
demanded Gordon. Victor puffed outside to have a look. I've never seen this chica before, my friend, said Victor. It must be the new engines that Topham was talking about. Here already? It seems so, Gordon. She's taking passengers from the station.
Wait a minute, said Gordon. She's here? Taking passengers? She's already stolen my express. I've been replaced.
Just then, Emily arrived with James.
Well, said Gordon, what happened to you? I don't want to talk about it, muttered James.
And the two big engines sulked together. At the station, the guard blew his whistle, and as quickly as she had arrived, Rebecca was off once more. As Rebecca thundered down the line, her driver started becoming concerned.
"Slow up a bit,"
she called.
"Your steam pressure is rising." "Oh, never mind that,"
retorted Rebecca.
"We'll reach the end of the line in no time."
But as they were approaching the viaduct, Rebecca's steam pressure suddenly shot up.
"Oh, stop! Stop! I've got to stop! Please!"
Her fireman doused the fire, and the driver brought her to a stop right on the viaduct.
"Oh, what's going on? I feel all upset inside." "Steam leaks somewhere," replied the driver. "Looks like your pipes weren't fixed after all. I'll have to walk to the station and phone for help. Please hurry. I don't much like heights."
At the work shed, Gordon was feeling miserable. Sir Topham Hatt came to see him with important news.
Gordon,
he said.
what do you want?
Gordon sighed.
For you to snap out of this fuss, Sir Topham Hatt boomed. I've got a job for you.
Gordon was surprised.
Oh, a job, sir, he spluttered. Yes, sir, what, sir? My new engine has broken down on the viaduct. All the other engines are busy. And I need you to push her to that foot. But I'm not prepared yet, sir. They still need to fix a few things, said Sir Topham Hatt. But Victor and the men say that it's just good enough if you take it easy. Go give her a push to the station and show her what my finest express engine can really do.
Yes, sir, Gordon beamed, and he happily set off to find Rebecca. Soon, Gordon found Rebecca and her coaches sitting on the viaduct.
Well, well, what do we have here?
Laughed Gordon as he gave Rebecca and her coaches a bump.
"Oh, don't be so rude! Don't be so rude!"
Scolded the coaches. That's not very nice, Rebecca fumed.
Oh, exclaimed Gordon, I'm so sorry. To the coaches. Now get on, you!
And with all his might, Gordon pushed her away. It took a little while, but finally, Rebecca and Gordon reached the end of the line. Gordon dumped her and the coaches at the platform and rolled away for a rest. Rebecca was now having her doubts about the new railway.
Hello there, peeped Percy as he rolled up alongside. You must be the new express engine. Yes, I am, Rebecca said sadly. But I wish I wasn't. Why? What's the matter? Asked Percy. It's the other big engine. He doesn't seem to like me. He's very rude.
Percy smiled. Gordon? Oh, never you mind him. He's full of himself if you ask me. Don't worry though. The other engines here are quite nice once you get to know them.
Well, I'm glad to hear. You seem really nice. Thanks, replied Percy.
Well, I'll take your coaches and then I'll pull you to a shed. I'm Percy, by the way.
And I'm Rebecca. Nice to meet you, Percy, by the way,
laughed Rebecca as Percy pulled her coaches away. Meeting Percy had cheered her up a bit, but she was still worried. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the last unpleasant meeting between Rebecca and the other big engines. But that's another story.